Hello and welcome to a new episode of New Game Today. I'm Ben Hanson, joined by
Shea.
Let's listen to this. This is Gears 5, everybody. Good God, Shea, what are we looking at, man?
This is Escape Mode. It's the new 3-player cooperative mode that's coming to Gears 5. You're not playing as the main characters in the campaign, so that's Liam, JD, Liam is the actor,
of course,
and Dell. This is Lonnie, Keegan, and Mac.
Interesting. Okay, and how much story is in Escape Mode here?
So what you just saw was an opening cutscene that's explaining what they're doing, and what they are is they're a group called the Hive Busters. And they're intentionally getting captured. You saw she put like a face mask on, kind of like a Bane-looking thing.
Right.
That prevents the Snatchers when they come and grab them. If you remember Gears 4's campaign, spoiler alert,
and all that stuff.
Marcus Phoenix was abducted, and that was the monster that took him. And so they're intentionally getting captured by those things, so they take them back to the Hive, but they have a mask on that prevents them from like being put to sleep when it happens.
And is the idea to like tear the Hive out, or tear it apart from the inside out?
Yeah, so You saw in the beginning, right there before like gameplay started, she planted a mine and had a minute countdown. That's a venom mine, so it's going to detonate in a minute. You can see at the very top there's a countdown, 37 seconds left, and that venom mine is going to detonate. And from that point, this toxic cloud is going to start flooding the Hive, and you're just trying to get out now.
Interesting, that's why it's called Escape.
Escape!
Does it feel radically different? Does it feel, okay, let's just focus on gameplay-wise.
Yes.
I mean, controls a lot like Gears 4, I'd imagine.
The gameplay, or the gunplay feels a little different this time around. It is a little bit, I want to say different for each gun. Like each gun feels a little bit different. The pistol feels a lot faster than the hammer burst that I'll pick up eventually.
Okay.
I was talking to Rod Ferguson, the studio head at the Coalition, the developer behind Gears 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And basically, the idea for this mode was born from the fact that, like, despite how aggressive this game is, and like the series, and like the design of the characters and design of the weapons, it's a very defensive mode if you think about it. Like, it's a cover-based shooter, so you're constantly trying to be like methodical about where you're going from wall to wall. And then, of course, the series trademark is Horde mode, which is all about digging in and just defending a point. So they wanted a more offensive mode that's faster paced, and you're kind of forced to be aggressive. So you can see right there, that is the tank class. And every character has their own ultimate. So I'm playing as Lonnie. She's the assault class. See my ultimate meter in the lower center right there is charging. Her ultimate is, her knife is electrified. And
you know, in a universe with so many weapons, the idea of the ultimate just being a super knife.
There's another ultimate, that's the support class that just dropped an ammo recharge, which ammo is like a precious commodity in this mode.
Is it really? That's weird.
Yeah. So you kind of have to be really careful. And there were also a lot of like difficulty modifiers that you can go in with. Like you can add like more enemies. You can add like the toxic cloud spreads faster, so you have to go a lot quicker. There's also the like scarce ammo modifier. There's a bunch of different modifiers you can choose from, and that really will help you like decide what type of experience you want. With this right now, you can see like this is one of the safe rooms.
Okay.
So the safe rooms are kind of scattered throughout here. There's not going to be any enemies spawned, but what you will have is some ammo and some grenades laying around. But it's not like a ton. Like I think the first couple of safe rooms, I didn't get anything because my teammates grabbed them up.
Right, right. Greedy. And you're busy exploring the environment here anyway. There's a lot of cool things to look at, I understand.
And all these are crafted by the Coalition, but there's also a map creator in this game.
Specifically for this mode?
Yeah, for this mode. So it's like tile-based.
Can you make other multiplayer maps?
I don't know. They haven't talked about that yet.
Okay.
So the characters that you're playing as, so Lonnie is who I am, Keegan is the support, and Mac is the tank. And they are featured in the comic series. There's I think it's a 5-part comic series called Hive Busters.
Is it already out?
The issue 1 I think is out.
Interesting.
And that's going to explain like the actual backstory. So it's kind of one of those Overwatch deals where if you want the story besides that that premise of like getting captured on purpose, you're gonna have to go and check that out for yourself.
What is this combat in action? This isn't what the video's known. We should probably just skip this part.
Oh yeah, nobody wants to see the gunplay.
I prefer to watch you look at an ice wall for 3 more minutes. Good God, Brian Shea.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't think we had the enemies up, but you can see like here's how we're working with the teammates right now, where like he's pulling up with his ultimate.
There wasn't friendly fire there, was there? It kind of looked like.
It looked like it was popping up, and you can turn that damage counter off. Like you see, that's kind of a new thing for the franchise.
Yeah.
You can turn that off if you don't like that.
You know what the Days Gone developers call that?
What did they call that?
Popcorn.
Popcorn, huh? I get that.
The UI popcorn, which I will never forget now.
So this ammo recharge ult is great, and I think I deployed my ult. I was saving it for the right time, but then I realized how fast these ults charge. So I was like, I don't need to really be that careful with using it.
Yeah. How'd you feel about Gears 5 overall?
I liked it. I mean, they haven't really talked much about the other modes, so they're kind of doing like this timed rollout. So June, they're talking a bit about escape mode. July, I think they're jumping to competitive multiplayer. August, they're talking about horde mode, and then September, like the 10 days before launch, they're going to talk about the story.
10 days before launch?
Yeah, well, so it comes out September 10th. So if they're talking about it in September, then yeah, that's what they're gonna have to do is squeeze it in there. But I did get a few details.
It's weird though that like last year it was such a story-focused trailer, and it's like, I think people got the beats, and then they're gonna save that beat again for right before launch.
Well, the cool thing this time around is you're playing as Kate. You're not playing as JD if you're like the player one. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go right in this door, but and the reason for that, I talked to Rod about that. He said that this is really Kate's story. The way that it like plays out is like, you know, it's if you played through Gears of War 4, you know that there's a twist at the end that is involving Kate's family. And
can we say spoiler?
We can.
Well, actually, okay, we won't say.
We can. I mean,
but it makes Kate a more interesting character.
Yes, a very, very interesting twist at the end, and this is all about her trying to kind of figure out what's going on with her family, why her family has this history with the Locusts.
Right. It seemed like, you know, the trailer for E3 2019, it was much more psychological, focusing on Kate, which I thought was an interesting trailer in general. I don't know how the internet reacted to that.
Yeah, I think that I'm excited to see that, but Rod's whole thing was when there's something going on with a character, it's better to experience it as that character rather than watching it as another character, you know? Like, it would be weird if, like, it's a super personal story about Kate, and, like, that's the main focus of the story, but you're JD just kind of watching it unfold. You're not, like, the character playing.
Boy, it looks rough over there.
It was kind of like that whole, like, Maria thing with Dom and Gears 2, where it's like, all right, yeah, this seems like it's really affecting you, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Also,
it just allows them for, you know, a different tone for marketing. Like at E3 2019 here, there's banners up all over the place for Gears 5, right?
There's the ult.
Oh, very cool. All right, that did look neat.
Yeah, like Whiplash from Iron Man.
Yeah.
Only it's a knife instead of a whip.
Perfect.
Perfect analogy.
Is there the option of putting an Indy car in one of these maps?
I don't think so. But you can put a Lego car.
Oh, great.
Yeah, no.
Oh, great. Anyways, but like, you know, the marketing all around E3 is just Kate with the red background. It's like, okay, there's like a different tone to hopefully rope in a new audience, or just to convey the idea that it's not your typical Gears of War anymore.
Yeah, well,
it's literally not Gears of War anymore.
It's Gears. So that was what I talked. Another thing when I was having a conversation with Rod was that Gears 4 was kind of like them proving that they know how to make a Gears of War game.
That's what he said at the press conference.
Whereas Gears 5 is what he told me was like, okay, so this is where S really hits the fan. So I foolishly jump over here thinking I'm going to attack him, and then watch what happens. So I execute him.
Okay.
Then I turn around, and there's some real trouble coming my way.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's a warden.
Okay.
And he has no weaknesses aside from his head, but watch what happens when I shoot his head.
So watch you head slam into a wall.
Yeah. So I try to shoot him in the head. I get his attention, and I'm like, oh, I'll take him out. Nope. God, it's a nightmare.
That's a very Wonder Woman move, just holding up those little thin things that protects him from all bullets there.
So what he was talking about was that Gears 4 was like, if they tried to do something crazy with Gears 4, the internet would have been like, you guys didn't work on the other Gears, you just don't know how to make a Gears of War game.
Right.
So, yeah, so
Now
Gears 4 was them showing they're not a Gears of War game, and this is them like kind of flexing their creative muscles. So in this particular sequence, I was like, we should take this guy down, he's gonna be a problem. And then my guy bailed on me, my teammate bailed on me, so I was like, oh crap, so I just tried to make a break for it. I'm like, all right, I didn't realize this guy was so fast, so I'm just executing this guy, and I'm getting wailed on. I thought he was going to keep walking slowly. So my team is just getting annihilated.
Oh my God, Brian Shea. Hey, Gears 5, ladies and gentlemen.
And then you don't really get a good view of it on my camera, but I watched as my other teammate, who the camera is kind of pointed at, gets dragged away by a sire who kind of uses him as like a meat shield and pulls him out. And then at the very end, he just rips his head right off. So that's how this ends.
It truly is a new take on Gears, one where you lose apparently 100% of the time based on your playstyle.
Well, it's funny because he actually, the guy is getting dragged to the exit. So if he would have made it to where he just got decapitated, he would have won.
That's
but
funny.
Unfortunately, we didn't make it there. So
that's it. You have impressions on GameInformer.com for Gears 5. This week on the Game Informer show on Wednesday evening, we'll actually have Rod Ferguson on the podcast. So you can listen to that full episode there. Also, we're going to be doing live commentary over all the remaining press conferences, so check that out. And we have Game Informer show episodes as a podcast you can subscribe to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'll never end. Thank you so much, Brian Shea.
Thanks for
watching, everybody.